welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. My name is Miss Cosmo, as I am every single week. Rolling with my main man, Moochie for one, baby. Moochie, what's good?
What's going on? I'm back. Did y'all miss me?
Ooh. Don't nobody miss you, please.
One episode. Don't nobody know nobody now.
No, we don't care.
It's my first ever episode, yo. I'm so happy to join the podcast.
As you can see, the show goes on without you.
The show must go on without me.
Anyway, so we are joined today by a really awesome guest, my main man, Chris Beats. What's good?
Yes, doing some of those bombs.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I give you a... I got you.
You
Hip-hop
already
DJ. Hip-hop DJ extraordinaire. If you ever know anything about hip-hop scratching, hip-hop beats, you know, old school, new school, he's dropping all of the jams, man. DJ Chris Beats, what's up?
Hey man, it's been a while.
Uh-huh.
It's been ages.
I was actually
and I
worried.
finally made the cut.
Yes.
So good to be here, guys.
Yes.
Thank you for
having
joining
me,
us.
man.
Yeah, man. So happy to have you. You know, we're a little bit worried about having him on set because he said he has a particular flu that we're trying to run away from. Did you get a vaccine when?
I got the vaccine.
Uh-huh.
You know it worked. They don't want to let us up in the building. Where's your papers? Where's your papers? I had to get the vaccine,
Yes.
but yeah, no. It's the normal flu that's going around. Now when you see me, you're gonna be like, yo, there's that guy.
Are you sure, Chris? And when you work in a very serious building, pillar, there's a lot of white people there who are worried about the things that you are carrying. So just be careful.
You know, they were testing us during COVID, right?
Uh-huh.
That machine wasn't working. It was saying, like you can't read the temperature. I had no temperature. They didn't want to let me in the building.
You had no temperature.
But
That dead man walking.
yeah, no, it was just, there was something wrong.
Yeah.
I think they got that thing maybe from, the China mall or something, so that thing wasn't working.
It wasn't really doing the
The
things.
Bluetooth device is connected. One of those ones.
Oh man, but good to have you here, Chris Beats. And of course, we're just going to be chatting about what's hot and happening in the pop streets. But we are shooting out at Kofi in Midrand today. A really amazing venue. If you come through, just come and have a good time, man. The drinks are awesome. The vibe is great. I play here quite often, as usual. I mean, you guys know I always put on the venues that put me on. So, you
And
know.
it's really, really like a huge... I think I've been here
big,
only
eh?
once before, and I was somewhere downstairs.
Yeah.
So Chris and I were speaking off camera, like, man, this place is huge.
Yeah.
And it's got so many nice little sections, so many dope places to like chill out. So yeah, definitely if you're in Midrand or surrounds, you should pull up.
Yes. But of course, they've got different venues. It's not just this one. I think this one is just the biggest one. So this is the flagship store. So Kofi and Midrand, they also just they renovated it recently.
Yeah.
So they wanted to give it like a new aesthetic, a new look and feel. The energy is good. The lineups are always like banging on the weekend. But they've also got Kofi Centurion as well, Kofi Pulukwane, and they've just opened Kofi in Kabeja.
They used to have that Kofi in Hatfield.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Opposite the old Zanzu.
That one used to bang. There was also one in Cedar Square.
Yes, they
I
were.
remember the one in
yeah.
Pretoria. That one raised me back in my, student broke days. We used to go there whenever you're feeling nice. You know what I'm saying? One bottle nyana every 6 months.
Yeah, but they're definitely doing really well right now. So, check out all of the different stores as well. But this one is where, when you want to take it to the top, especially in the Joburg streets, come through. The food is also really good, just by the way, not just the drinks and the entertainment. But yeah, man, so of course we're going to jump straight into what has been trending on the streets this past week. First and foremost, we do have to send our condolences. Sorry. First and foremost, we do have to send our condolences out to the Marokana family. Lesiba Marokana passed away this past week, and it was just unexpected. I think it was just one of those things that we still need a little bit of explanation, but I think the family will obviously send out a release as to what happened throughout the week. But our love and our condolences do go out to his family. Lesiba did have a episode with us here on the podcast. He was a guest actually, and I remember him mentioning it was his first podcast that he had ever done. So he was excited about, yo, mama, I made it on a podcast. We shot with him out at Gentleman's Hangout, and it's so sad that it was so recent. Like it was literally like 2 months ago. I think we had him on.
It was very, very recent, man. And I saw a lot of people sending the condolences online. A lot of people in the industry that knew him. And if you watch that episode, you remember he dropped a lot of gems to artists about how to handle themselves and how to submit their music and that entire process. He gave a lot of like academic advice, I can say. That was very, very useful.
He was an OG. Like, just speaking about him, I didn't really share this with any of my family because when I heard this, it took, like, I got shocked because the reason I got into radio was because of that guy.
Really?
there was a station, your station, X
Yes.
station, 5. So they were doing this whole new lineup, the Weekenders.
Yeah.
And that time, they did a whole lineup, and PH was a presenter.
Yeah.
I was just a mix show DJ. That's what I was.
Yeah.
And I had no slot to do any more mixes. And he was the guy's like, I submitted your name forward to do the show. I said, now in my head, I'm like, to actually speak on the radio. So that's how I got into radio, because I'm like, if that guy, he's a big boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was someone high.
He was a music
Yeah.
compiler. Yeah.
At 5 as well. He was like, I submitted your name to go forward. And I'm like, this guy thinks I can do it, so maybe I can do it.
Yeah.
And
And look at
I
you
went
now,
and-
947.
I'm just talking there now. Yeah, so hey, Lesiba, like, he was a true OG, man.
Yeah.
He worked behind the scenes, but I mean, he made
Yeah.
things move.
He worked behind the scenes for a lot of people, and a lot of artists can also
Yes.
attest to the fact that he possibly gave them their big break, whether it was just playing the music on the radio, whether
Yeah.
it was, doing something like we're suggesting you to actually be on radio. He believed in a lot of raw talent, and that's one of his strengths that he had, and he spoke about that as well when we had him on for the podcast, for POPcast, when we spoke to him just about the music industry and how he helps out as a music compiler. And it's definitely a huge loss for the music industry, because I remember mentioning about how there's so many music compilers in this industry. There's so many people who work on radio, but not a lot of people actually put their ear to the ground. They wait for things to trend. They wait for things to happen. He was very it's so hard to say he was very proactive in the music industry and made sure that he listened and found small gems to give them a chance. So definitely a huge loss, man.
Massive.
And it was actually so crazy. Do you know I was actually with him that afternoon?
Sheesh.
So I'd had a meeting with him that afternoon in Rosebank. We were just catching up, talking about an event that he wanted to host. And literally a couple of hours later, I get a phone call that he's no longer. So for me, it's still strange because I was with him in the afternoon. He was perfectly fine, perfectly healthy with his daughter. And a few
very,
hours
very
later,
sad.
definitely a loss for the industry, a loss as a friend. I think all of the colleagues as well are sad, especially because he had an impact, because he worked at YFM, he worked at 5FM, he worked at Metro. So all those lives touched over and above the artists that he helped as well. So definitely just rest in peace to Leseba Marokana.
Massive condolences.
Yeah, definitely condolences. I think the funeral will be this weekend as well. So we'll just get more information on that as well and possibly share it on our socials. All right. With regards to just the music industry as a whole, trying to grow, trying to take things to the next level, a lot of artists are also trying to move towards the digital space at the moment. So Ntukza has made an announcement that he has launched a digital platform through which he'll be selling his own music. It's called afribizentertainment.com. And somebody else who also did something very similar is Zonke.
Zonke, yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's a little unexpected from Zonke, even though I'm pleasantly surprised that she is doing something very similar. So it kind of works a little bit like what Jay-Z was trying to do with Tidal. And there's pros and cons to this conversation. I don't know.
I think with Zonke, she's hitting crazy numbers. Like on YouTube and stuff, it's in the millions.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I'm not taking anything away from Ntukza, but I'm saying from her point, I think creating her own thing in a space where she has that following and they're just following her and what she's doing, that works.
Yeah.
I think we have to do it. I mean, if iTunes are doing that stuff, why can't we do it here in Africa?
Exactly.
South Africa. We have to wait for America to do it. No.
It's not even about countries, I think. I think more so about the machine behind it.
Yeah.
Because everything always kind of boils down to distribution. Everything boils
Exactly.
down to how much money do you have to pump this thing. Because, yes, anybody can register a website, but do you have enough of the marketing, the PR to get it out there, to get it accessible to everybody who needs to get access to this music? And I get it. Like, maybe diehard fans will register,
Yeah.
but how far in does your network grow outside of your own fans?
It's very tricky. I think Kanye West, when he dropped Donda 2, he did something similar with that whole app thing that you were supposed to buy, and then the music would be loaded on there. And of course, we never heard about it because that's just how that goes. And what you're saying is right, Ms. Cosmo. Distribution. At the end of the day, when an artist is taking a step like this, I mean, we can't hate it because they're trying to have as much independence as they can around their own music. They're trying to cultivate their own audience and, of course, monetize that as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how much labels can take and whatever. So if an artist is trying to see how much they can keep to themselves, that's not a bad move, but it's always interesting to see how exactly far they'll be able to actually push it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think for a while, somebody saw when Zonke said that. I remember somebody tweeted like, "Look, we're gonna wait about 6 months, and this thing will be on on iTunes and all the other streaming platforms, because she's gonna do the experiment and then realize that now she's actually isolated a lot of her, and it was only available on Android phones. So people are like, so what? So people who use Apples can't buy your album. So there's these small things that I say.
So the operation of it.
Yeah. So I'll say she must do the experiment to her satisfaction and then get back to reality. You know what I mean? And I'm saying it's experiment. So she'll test it out. She'll see exactly how many people are there, and then she'll realize how many albums that she actually sold in her last. You know what I'm saying in her last album, and then she'll be able to see if it's actually financially if it's worth it. So if it is, then good for her. But I don't think it'll take a long time to get the distribution to the level that it needs to be for it to be available everywhere and to everyone. Because that's what you want at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Even Ntukza doing it the same. It's like, okay, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's tricky. You know, Chris, when you mentioned that she's got millions of streams on YouTube, and obviously she's got a very big fan base, a very particular fan base as well.
Yeah.
And that's why she can charge a lot of money when she actually does do gigs, because she is just one of those special performers. I understand her power with regards to her fans.
Yeah.
However, from a realistic digital business perspective, I think it's also just tricky. And I'm not saying she shouldn't try it. I appreciate the creativity and the will to want to kind of do better. I only just worry because I'm very aware of accessibility, number one. Number two, anybody can stream millions because YouTube is free. Whereas now I need to physically go onto your website, choose to give you my money through that website that I might not even be sure of, and pay money. Anybody can sit and watch a music video over and over. Sometimes you play it in the background. You just have it, you know, when you're chilling at home, maybe you put on YouTube in the back. You know, play. It's just running. You have the music kind of playing. That's one way to kind of get the numbers. I get that, but purchasing is a completely different thing. That's why I'm saying it's going to be specific just to her fans. And are there that many that they're going to pay? Because you can listen, but then are you going to physically take money out of your pocket for that? Because South Africans are always about the bundle. It's like you want to have everything in a bundle. Okay, if I'm going to a concert, how many artists are going to be there before I take out this 250 rand?
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to pay 250 rand for one person. But you'll pay 250 rand because there's going to be like 50 artists on the lineup. Then you feel like you're getting your money's worth.
Or like a major league, this too.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I worry about, and I'm speaking from a South African consumer perspective. I'm not bashing Zonke or her fans. I'm just saying that's just how we think.
Do you think she's pushing the music or she's actually pushing the platform? Because if you want to push your music, you're going to push it, I would say, put it on the big platforms, or iTunes, whatever. You're selling your music, or are you pushing the specific app? Do you think it's like a cross thing between that?
I think she's probably trying to, it'll be interesting if she turns the entire thing into a lifestyle situation. Okay. Maybe it might be different, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I've seen the entire rollout of what Zonke's full plan is. Because this was just made an announcement in conjunction with her album coming out. Now, I will say this. Subscriptions are nothing new. You know what I'm saying? They are tricky in South Africa. They're tricky just iTunes, Spotify. You know what I'm saying? If you know how many people actually subscribe to those things, the numbers will shock you how low they are of people who are
and
actually...
And people don't do both.
You know what I'm saying? If iTunes South Africa and Spotify South Africa, when they let you know exactly what the numbers are, you'll be shocked at those numbers because they're not as high as people might even begin to imagine. Now you take it to YouTube. YouTube also offers subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? You can cultivate your audience and they can watch videos for free, but you can also charge people a subscription fee and have private users. You can do the same now on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You can put out subscriptions. So these things are available. They come tricky in South Africa because you see a lot of international content creators have success with it, actually make a lot of money from it with the exclusivity of it. So if you have a lot of subscribers and you can really bring your audience together, you may be able to create a lot of another revenue stream for yourself. But like I said, in South Africa, it's tricky. People like free things. People hate paying for these things. We've seen these apps come and go. We've seen AKA used to have an app, you know what I'm saying? Financially, it wasn't viable. Eventually, it stopped. Cassper used to have and these are like some of our biggest artists in this country with really, really big audiences. You see them at the shows. You see them with their streams. But when it comes down to the subscription, somehow South Africans seem to shy away. And you can
because they want the bundle. I'm not paying for one person. I will pay iTunes and Spotify because I get all the artists for 60 rand.
Zonke is private, that one.
Now you want me to pay for just you? Are
maybe
you
a
sure?
free hoodie or something. Zonke.
You get it?
You know what I mean?
And I don't get exclusive videos. I don't want to see you, but I don't want to see the video that only I know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I subscribe to your app, and then I get exclusive Miss Cosmo content. You know what I'm saying? What everybody else doesn't see. You get to show me behind the scenes of my life. Yeah, get out. I won't say Miss Cosmo's life is boring, but I'm saying I'm going to get that shit on your Instagram anyway because I follow you. If you're telling me that there's extra private things, man, you gotta be like some sort of super fan.
It's like a music only fans.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's like that's what it is.
Yeah, now if you're telling me there's some OnlyFans things happening there, you might subscribe. That might change the entire game.
I don't know. Maybe you just need to subscribe and you'll find out.
So you say
if somebody comes through and says, "Hey, Ntukza is doing things on this," there's some things happening. Yeah, it's not just music. Then maybe you might, if you say, "Hey, Zonke, I'm telling you, she's not just singing, my brother. Just pay this 10 rand a month, come and enjoy." So you never know. People for things like that, people seem to have money.
Yes. You know what I mean?
They always have money for the weirdest things.
They're charging dollars for that.
Yo.
I'm like, dollars.
I'm saying, even when you don't have money, you have money for the things that you want. You know what I'm saying?
No, you have money for strange things.
Yeah.
And that's why South Africans mustn't be strange,
Exactly.
please.
I have 300 rand to waste on certain things, but I don't have 300 rand to waste on other things. You know what I mean? You'll find that people can do like that. Very, very simple. If I tell you a case of beer, it's nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. But if you tell me 300 rand to subscribe to something, where are we going now?
It's always a question. It's like people don't want to pay entrance, but they'll say, "No, I'll spend at the bar." If you can spend 1,000 rand at the bar, then give me 100 rand of that money so that you can enter the venue, and then spend 900 at the bar. Either way, it's still all coming to me. I get that's what you. That's
People
what you're
not wanting
saying.
to pay 100 rand to get into a venue always blows my mind.
Yo.
Clipper.
But you're gonna
That's how much
spend.
a drink costs.
I
at the
mean,
bar.
I
honestly,
don't want, bro.
either way, the money's coming to me. Whether you pay it at the bar or whether you pay it at the entrance,
We want
you're
to go
still
in
paying
for
it.
free, and we want Ace of Spades.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
I will say just in closing though, Oguti, none of this is are bad moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
If people trying to find ways to increase their own revenue, to own the ownership that we push, yes. So we're not going to contradict ourselves. Just as people in the industry and whatnot, artists making that move shows that they're trying to think out of the box.
Yeah.
They're trying something new, and they're trying something that they know is not like immediately might not go their way, but the experiment is there, the time is there, and at the end of the day, I guess maybe for someone at some point it'll really boom, and then everybody else will try, will do it harder and harder. So it's not a bad move per se. It's just a very risky one.
It's a very risky one, especially in Cyril's economy. But anyway, two artists who are giving us a bit of a show, which I'm actually very excited about. And I'm so glad hip hop is finally deciding to wake up and get involved. Cassper and Nasty C have both announced that they're going to be dropping albums very soon. But not only that, they are going on tour together and they are taking Africa and the world by storm. How are we feeling about that?
That's dope, man. I wouldn't have expected two artists. And I'm saying the divisions in hip hop locally are always highlighted. These people are always speaking about everyone just doing their own thing. So to see them coming together to do something like this is actually very dope. So shout out to Cassper and Nasty C. I heard the management tweet about the fact that it's been a long time coming. So it's not something that happened overnight. There's several years into planning or trying to find the right time for this tour to happen. Hip hop definitely needs something like this. Amapiano is busy everywhere else in terms of the type of music that we're currently exporting. So hip hop, it's not just a local tour they're doing; they're going across Africa. And I'm saying, and I think they said they're gonna might add some European dates
Yes,
or American
definitely.
dates.
I'm so excited.
So that's really, really dope, man. Like South African hip hop to the world.
That's it.
Get behind
Bring
that.
It back. Bring back our hip hop. Bring back our hip hop.
Oh goodness,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it, Chris? Especially because you're a hip hop DJ
I'm
and
excited because I also think it's two guys that have good catalogs, amazing catalogs, and they can bounce off each other in terms of energy.
Yeah.
From a performance point of view, the music that's going to come out, we're going to get club bangers, we're going to get heat. Then Nasty is also going to come through with the soft side of things.
Yeah.
Casper's straight up hype. We're going to get club bangers.
Yeah. And he's also got his Amapiano side as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I know it's going to work, but I mean, what Nasty is going to push is, they together. Now they have someone to bounce off, because now guys are actually working together. I think we need that.
We definitely need
that's
it.
what's exciting.
I think what this has also kind of opened up artists to kind of think about is also thinking broader than just staying here.
Yes.
Because I think the biggest fear that South Africans and South African hip hop possibly had was, okay, we know we have dope music. We know South Africa loves us. Possibly parts of Africa also love us. But does the world love us? Because we're not too sure if we sit in those spaces. And one thing that I think Amapiano also opened them up to is that there actually is a fan base outside of South Africa, because
Absolutely.
a lot of the places where Amapiano artists perform is to Africans in different countries.
Yeah.
So now it's about tapping into those Africans, because they want to hear what's happening in South Africa. They want to hear what's happening in Africa. It's just that people don't make the effort to go out to them. So now it's about, okay, let's do the research. Let's actually sit with the data that we have, especially because we've got all this technology. Sit with it, see the pockets where your music is actually booming, create a show out there, and then you take it to the world. It's really that simple. I just think people weren't thinking about it, and now we're kind of being forced out of our shell to kind of take it to the top, you know?
Absolutely.
So I was speaking to a friend yesterday that lives in Dubai.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you can come and get gigs as long as you say you're South African. So I'm like, okay, cool, it's that easy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, but you got to play Amapiano.
Really?
That is the biggest sound in Dubai right
Yeah.
now. And Dubai is like Dubai, you know, you see lights, big buildings,
Yeah.
massive cars. That's what they're listening to. That's all they want, literally now. So if we can do that with the hip hop and through Nasty C, because they know him there.
Yeah.
They know him globally. Cassper as well. They've made those moves before when hip hop was so big in this country. You know what I mean? When the guys were rocking, I'm talking about Questa, Boom Shakalak.
Yeah.
When it was Cash Time. All, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that era is almost coming back now. So it is exciting, and I think we can take it. Like guys like Costa did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Costa
So-
was doing it so well.
Yes, and I
100%.
think they also kind of paved the way, because now, yes, rest in peace, Costa, but now they need to see what else is SA got.
Yeah.
Now we've got our Nasty C's, we've got our Caspers, we've got guys that are unknown, but that are going to make it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think Dubai and that platform, because everyone's watching Dubai right now. Always watched America. Dubai seems the place that they watch. And I heard the only hip hop that goes down in Dubai, for example, is if an artist like from America goes there. So if Rick Ross is there, he's not planning to perform, but he's jumping on the mic and he's
Yeah.
that's the hip hop
Yeah.
they're getting. We can do that.
Yeah.
Our guys can do that.
Americans actually have very big dates in Dubai, and I think Dubai is just one of those platforms, like you're mentioning, where entertainment can definitely thrive. The money is there, and the want for something, a different sound, because you do see that a lot of Americans do kind of add dates in Dubai because the clubs also allow for that. So if they've got the budget to be booking people like Rick Ross, best believe, my brother, you know, Cassper Nasty C, go and collect the checks. Make sure you do the right
Rick
thing.
Ross is from there, Katlong.
I mean,
Yes, you're right.
I think it's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we can't speak enough about what Piano has done. You know what I'm saying? And it's been dope, because we want all our artists to be able to do that, not just the one genre.
Exactly.
So I mean, like, there's a friend of mine who lives in Washington. Like yesterday, he sent me a clip, and he's at a party, and they're playing my piano. You know what I'm saying? And the video what he said that he sent to me wasn't about they're playing my piano. He was like, yo, look what's going on at this party. You know what I'm saying? Because some guy was just dancing with some girl.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even registering. Like, it's so normal. He wasn't even registering the fact that Ntukza is playing or some shit like that. So it's things like that. So we know Amapiano is having its own wave, and that's amazing. How we can support that wave is all the other genres to do exactly what these guys are doing. And also, we gotta give these guys a shout out, Nasty C and Cassper, because when they do these tours locally, they always put other artists on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as much as we speak about divisions in hip hop, at any given time when Casper's done any of these fill-ups, he's always got supporting acts of other guys in the industry. He puts them on the big stages as well. Nasty C, when he did his Iverson tour, is it last year or the year before that? You saw the lineup. Every single city that he was on, he was putting guys on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about him. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can imagine now that they're taking this shit to Africa, that they'll be maybe collaborating when they're in Zambia. They'll put Zambian artists on that stage and bring those relationships tighter. In Tanzania, when they're in Lagos, because it just used to be Nigeria that we used to travel to at some point.
Yes.
But now the entire African continent is vibing. So I mean, it's a dope thing. So give the guys support when they performing locally, and also give hip hop the respect I guess it deserves, because Oaks are actually trying to bring people together.
Yeah.
As much as we're always like dissing it or have some negativity towards it, there's guys who are trying, and when those things happen, I think we need to get behind it. If you're really about that hip hop, then come on, man.
Yeah, man. Shout outs. Talking about collaboration, there's also a new collab that Nasty C has just signed with Mr. Price Fashion. So he's going to be dropping a collaborative line of Nasty C merch, which I think is really dope. And what I appreciate sometimes about these collabs is that it's not like they're going to be too far-fetched far-fetched or too expensive or too out of reach
Yep.
because they understand that their fans are people who gonna shop in those different stores. Blackie did the same with Red Bat. I think Tejo had one as well with Factory when he had the Tejo t-shirts.
Nadia.
And Nadia as well, also with Red Bat. So a big ups to Nasty C for also jumping on board. I'm actually quite keen to check these out. Have you kind of seen a lot of the merches? Have you actually bought some of them or kind of supported?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I played a lot of these. I don't know why the kids like me, like the under 18s and stuff. So I always see the merch there, and that's where you see it first. I mean, they're rocking the latest, the new fashion, whatever. And if it's good to see, like, I mean, someone there, St. John's or Crawford or whatever, you know what I mean, Cheese Boys or whatever you want to call it. But they're rocking SDC, they're rocking our local brands. They've got a picture of AKA or Cassper or whatever.
I think that's
Do you
so
know what I mean?
dope. Yeah, because I mean, we constantly have these like these t-shirts of old school artists, Tupac, Aaliyah, Biggie. And I'm like, I get those guys are there, but we need to support our own where we have the AKAs, the Costas. I mean, Cultish also just dropped a collab of AKA and Costa merch as well. They did a launch this past week in Mauro's Arc, just in remembrance of AKA and Costa Titch. So, it's really dope to kind of see, these t-shirts actually come through because that's how we're going to keep the legacy alive, especially for these artists.
Absolutely. There's a lot of local labels that I feel like are always at the forefront and with collaborations and just trying to keep the culture alive in terms of like hip hop or urban clothing. I'm saying you mentioned Cultish, one of the new ones. There's guys like Grade. You know what I'm saying? There's Stilo recently had a line out and he had a pop-out store. You have, of course, YGN holding down Cape Town with Youngster. So whenever people have an opportunity to mix with these brands, Galax Boy or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, that I think we should gate those opportunities. Very smart of Nasty C to choose Mr. Price.
Yes.
This is a similar thing that we're saying about Zonga. What does Mr. Price have? Distribution.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So Nasty C, immediately his clothing line will be available in every single town, every single city in this country. You know what I mean? Meaning everyone who's a Nasty C fan across South Africa will have access to these. And of course, we already know because it's Mr. Price, it'll be affordable as well. So that's dope for him, and it'll be interesting to see how that collab goes. If it's something that I'd love to see something very permanent, long, what do you call this? Kind of like a permanent line, if I can say that. Yes. Casper's collaboration with Root of Fame, you know what I'm saying? That seems to be going well. You know what I'm saying? They're dropping sneakers every week, every month or whatnot. So yeah, seeing these guys moving these and taking this like really, really seriously as, I mean, that shit can change your life. That kind of money.
Definitely.
Niggas will stop rapping, I promise you. Niggas are going to stop rapping.
Take a page out of Rihanna's book. You guys keep saying, hey, she must stop selling Avon. Hey, she's a billionaire because of that makeup, okay?
Not Avon.
So,
1.4 billion, hey?
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly.
Yo,
Shout
highest
outs, exactly.
Bad girl Riri.
Another collab that I actually noticed, which I thought was so smart. Shimza just dropped a line with Tepo. You know Tepo jeans?
Yes.
Yes. So they're dropping a line called Hope because both of their names actually mean hope. Because his second name is Kulufelo, and then Tepo's name also Tepo, Kulufelo, both of them mean hope. So that's why they're kind of collaborating by calling it that. And they've made T-shirts. They've made a few garments as well, which are going to be sold through Tepo's website and the stores as well. So I think that's well thought out, especially for Shimza to also kind of do something in that direction. So yeah, man.
It's very, very dope.
Collaboration, keep on going, guys.
Exactly. And the fashion. I mean, the guys are wearing...
Yes.
I mean, they're wearing the other guys' stuff already. They can rock their own thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We want to rock it too. Let's go.
And I say to all the other guys that have smaller labels, because I know we're speaking about maybe some of the bigger ones, more popular ones right now on the show, but I know there's lots of smaller labels, smaller guys that are making impact in their own communities and whatever. Every time we speak about something like this on the show, somebody always tags and says, guys, I'm busy with A, B, and C. Look at what I've done. Or somebody says, you guys don't know what's going on in Durban, and here's something. They give us a new perspective. And for that, we actually appreciate it. So when you see these clips, tell us more and let other people know. This is what's happening in Limpopo. You know, there's a guy pushing this. This is what's happening in the Northwest. There's a guy pushing this, and, it's got the streets buzzing. Because sometimes that stuff trends or it has a smaller community, doesn't make it any less impactful.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so we're also going on to music news right now. We have somebody who did collaborate and no longer collaborating. MT who says he's a former Skanda member, shares his journey and challenges with the group. So he posted a video on Twitter, just kind of, speaking about how he feels things have been stolen from him, how he feels like, he's just been robbed because the industry is just taking so much from him.
So that word
And
challenges.
he can't survive anymore because Bampuqile and now his life is over. My gosh, stop crying. Firstly. And for me, do you know what my frustration is sometimes is this thing of wanting to kind of bring down big artists who you feel didn't give you a silver platter for you to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And it's always about bringing down people who you think, oh, if I mention this person's name, then I'm going to get some sort of hype and people will pay attention to me. It's either that or no, I deserve this, I deserve that. What do you deserve? How much work have you put in for you to deserve it? It really frustrates me because it's as if like you're just sitting there with your hand out expecting things but not working for it. And you're going to say that someone like KO stole your rhymes. KO's got how many years in the game? Over 15 years. How did he survive 15 years if he's going to be stealing from you? And also stealing a name, MT. Umtembeni. His name is also MT. That's how his name is spelled. MT are the first two letters of his name on his ID. My brother, please. Try another one.
Yeah, no, this is...
I'm sorry.
Off camera, I was talking to Chris about sometimes people are always trying to say the controversial thing to get people's attention. You know what I'm saying? Ngati when it's not working the one way, they think maybe the other way is let me get trending online. You know what I'm saying? Let me pick the controversial route. Let me say wild things that people are now going to be... Because the first thing people are going to ask is who's MT. People are already confused thinking we're talking about MT. The big hustle. You know what I'm saying? And that's not who we're talking about. So already the people that don't know are just like, my brother, so we don't even, we don't cover you that way. And that's not to diminish any work that you've done. See, I understand with artists that things can be frustrating sometimes. When you're working and you don't get your chance to blow up and you always feel like you're in the background, it's very easy when you're in that moment to be like, start finding things to blame now because it can be a very frustrating time. But I don't think it helps you to make enemies for no reason or to come through as a guy who sounds bitter because people are just going to ask you where the music is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just where the jams? Okay, Sharp. Let's forget what you're saying. KO stole. Where's the new one?
So
you know what I'm saying?
I thought that was the reason. I was looking for another single. I thought maybe he's just saying that there's a single that's been dropped.
Yes, something on the
No,
way.
he just said it. Exactly. Because he saw Sete was like, damn, now you saw Toss on the new one. It's like, I know.
Here's my chance.
Here's my chance. Gap now.
No.
It's like,
Say that and then drop the thing immediately.
exactly. Hey, harder for the brew if you feel some type of way. But I mean, KO, you can't. KO is KO, man.
Exactly.
I mean, that's South SA hip hop icon.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So even if you stole it, maybe you stop stealing it after you left it. Yeah, still carry it on. You know what I mean?
But that's exactly what I'm saying is that also people forget that when you're in studio, everybody's bouncing off of each other.
Exactly.
So I could be in studio and easily just be like, maybe don't say if, say was or something. Then I've made my contribution to the song, sharp. But was it a mind-blowing contribution? Was it something that was stolen? Was it an idea that that the song wouldn't have survived if I didn't add that? We never know. But that's the whole point of being in studio with different people because you bounce ideas off of each other, but you understand this song is made for that person. That's how albums are made. Everybody who is in a label, you work in collaboration. You have an AR manager for a reason, A&R manager for a reason. You also have a creative writer for a reason or whatever. Everybody's just in there to make the song great. And one person will take that song and run with it. So I don't understand this thing about, hey, he stole my rhymes, he stole whatever. If there was a situation where they were in studio together, that's what you give to the process.
100%. That's how it works. I think it's clout.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. I'm like I said, harder to the brew, but it's clout. KO did his thing. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Hip hop almost died, you could say. Not died out, but went quiet because of piano.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's basically merging both. Him, Cassper.
Yeah.
They bring in the piano guys into the hip hop space. You know. I think that guy's cursing me. So how they prove? I need to get out. But like I was saying, they bringing hip hop with the amapiano because amapiano is almost that sound that's in between. You can get a vocalist, she's going to sing house.
Yeah.
But then you get someone like a folk or something, he can jump on a trap. Give him those 808s, he's going to lay something. Look at Toss. Look at what Toss
Yo,
did.
rockabye.
Yo, I keep going back. I can't get that song out of, especially what Toss did. And the way that song came together, I would have never expected. But KO obviously heard something. Maybe this brew helped him and said, bring Toss on the song or whatever. But I mean, they made magic. So, I mean, you can't do that to KO.
You see, when you sound bitter, it's just people are very. The industry is very unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? And it can be very harsh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so when you come through with the bitter vibes, people they turn off very quickly. And if that's your introduction to people, it means you must always try and prove yourself. There's a better way to have marketed. Like if you, like I said, frustrations are real. When you're out here, you're working, you're trying to get noticed, and it's not happening the way that you want. Everybody can understand feeling neglected, feeling, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying because nobody actually knows you and you must still introduce yourself, this was a weird way of doing it because if I'm there with KO, then that means I'm with the right person. If I'm trying to come up and KO's next to me and I'm in studio with them and we're collaborating, maybe we're writing songs together or a hook or beats or producing, whatever contribution I may have given, I'd use that as a positive stepping stone to introduce myself to people and be like, oh no, I worked with KO on A, B, and C. This is how KO's had my back. KO's been trying to put me on, so he's the guy who, you know what I'm saying, has actually given me a chance, and now it's my chance, so now I want people to pay attention to what I'm able to do. Instead of coming through with these vibes. Like I said, he chose... When you're hurt, sometimes you have to make a decision which way you're going to go with this type of situation. You can use it as something to fuel you, and he's used it as a thing to complain about now.
But then, like, tell your best friend, don't go on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, tell someone, like, it's not that we don't care.
Go for a drink.
Hey,
come to Kofi, buy beer.
Listen
You know?
to Miss Cosmo.
Sometimes you must even lie. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying bitterness, you must lie a little bit sometimes. Instead of being bitter, be like, nah, Miss Cosmo's dope. She's fine. It's okay. She helped me out, even though she didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because even she'll hear it and she'll just take a step back. You know what I'm saying? KO will hear this guy saying, no, I love KO a lot. There's no problem with me and KO. We're all good. Me and KO work together, but now it's my own chance. Even if they have a problem, that guy is going to keep quiet. Because you're not saying anything negative. You know what I'm saying? The minute you start saying things like this, now it's hard. Like the next time KO has to speak about this guy, if he even gives me that opportunity.
I don't think he will.
I never.
He probably won't be filled with compliments. Or maybe he'll just, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where now that you have the platform and somebody is listening to you, he went to the cloud route. Like, what am I going to say here that's going to trend? That's going to get people to show my attention. And when we do have people's attention, people are talking about you, there's no song ready.
Maybe there's a hoodie or
Where is
something.
it?
There's a merch.
A hoodie?
Like,
That guy looks like he still needs to buy a comb. Did you see his video? No.
Me, it's come through with the music. Don't go on podcast tours to talk about nothing. At least come through with the work.
But he's been he's been whiling about this thing for years because even this MT thing is not new.
Yeah.
So he clearly just took an opportunity to say, hey, here's my chance to while, and he's whiling again. And he's done it before. And that's why I'm saying, please, my brother, at least give us something that we can work off. Because right now it's not giving.
Well, shut up. Once the music is banging, we'll keep quiet.
And we're asking you to shut us up because right now we have nothing to say, and that's why we are just questioning what's happening. Give us something to shut up about, and then
opinions can change.
I'm just saying sorry.
Saying sorry for what?
He's heartbroken. That video, I was like, you know, when the brew is rubbing his head like this, you're like,
you can see he's defeated. That's what I'm saying. It's coming from a place of pain.
No, it's pain because you're expecting a handout, and that's what frustrates me. Stop. There's so many artists in this game who expect handouts. They don't want to work for what they want. They don't want to work to get themselves on. It's always about, put me on. Do you think these big artists were put on? No, they made sure that people heard their names to get to where they are right now, and they maintained it. Because you don't just expect a handout and expect for things just to flourish. No, when are you putting in the work?
that's
because
true.
you're never going to appreciate it. You're never going to stay and maintain yourself in this industry if everything is given to you.
Absolutely. It's very, very tricky.
No.
And it doesn't matter how big the artist who you are surrounded by is. Because like I said, it's expectation and I'm now around a big person. You expect magically that now you'll be just as big as them. It happens all the time. You always see people getting signed internationally as well. You know what I'm saying? People getting behind really big artists, but that big artist doesn't make them, like for example, like Slaughterhouse, when they signed to Eminem's label, Eminem, you know what I'm saying, GOAT status, you know what I'm saying, guy who sells records in his sleep. You know, those guys as underground kind of rappers signing to him and hoping that it would give them the boost that it does. And you can hear some frustrations from some of them speak. I mean, Joe Budden has spoken about it time and again, about, you know, that shit that didn't go the way he figured. You know what I'm saying? You thought it was supposed to be a springboard, but at the end of the day, your own talent takes you to the next step.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Someone can open the door, doesn't matter who it is. You can sign to a KO, you can sign to Cassper tomorrow, but if your shit doesn't bang in the streets, there's nothing Cassper can do.
But also put in the work,
Yeah.
Like, Noni, you know, the times of like Icon, ALS,
Yeah.
Sway.
Yeah.
We were seeing Cassper, we were seeing the guys coming, please play my song.
Yes.
Us as DJs, we DJs. Yes, we're playing in the clubs. But I mean, those guys were there. It's not like they didn't work or they just blew up and they just, okay, I've got a whole team. They were there, please play my song. Here's my
Yes.
song. Here's Doc Shebeleza, here's Kusheshe, whatever.
Jumping
You know what
on
I
the
mean?
mic wherever he could.
Wherever, just to try and he was known already.
Yeah.
The guys were known already, but they still put in the work up until today. You know.
Yes.
The guys are still hitting you up. Please play my song on radio. Please play my song here when you play. Please play my song.
Because they
Guys are still
understand
working.
that this thing is a hustle. You constantly
Yo.
need to keep working at
And
it.
nothing, sorry, and nothing will make you more better than constantly comparing yourself.
Yo.
Doesn't matter what you do, where you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you are a new R&B singer, you know what I'm saying, and you look at the person who's at the top of that list and you're like, if I never achieve what this person's achieved, then I'm nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at the guys who are at the top and thinking that's the only way to make it is to be exactly like Cassper, otherwise you're a failure or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what, when you start comparing yourselves to the people around you and how they're moving and how things has worked out for them, that's when you forget about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that you do will ever satisfy yourself because you're always looking next door to find where the grass is greener, instead of like watering your own lawn, as they
Yeah.
say. So focus on cultivating your own audience and also accept that things might not go for you the same way that they went for others, but doesn't mean that you're failing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There's only one Beyonce out there.
Exactly.
Please, just understand.
Just be the best you can be, and honestly, the hard work speaks for itself. The quality of the output of the work itself will always speak for itself, and it may not happen at the click of a finger for you, but you gotta keep trying new things, new moves to build your own audience up. Leave other people alone.
Exactly. And here's somebody who is in his own lane. We're getting into brand new music right now. As we mentioned, KO featuring Toss with Rockabye. Yes. And when we had Toss, because we had Toss in for a pop radio episode, we were interviewing him, just chatting about the music, is it like, the EP that he had just dropped, and he gave us like an insight on being in studio with KO, and that song was just about to drop at the point when we recorded that interview, and how nervous he was, and he wasn't sure whether he could still do this rapping thing, because obviously piano is a lot more simpler than what he was doing on Rockabye. And I don't think we expected what we got. When we spoke to him about it, we were just like, oh shit, okay, well, we're excited. Like, you're gonna be on a track with KO. Sharp. Ha!
Yo, you know what it gave me? Squatter camp clap song vibes.
Yes.
When I heard him, that flow that he came in, I'm like, yo, this took me to that time.
Yeah.
Like energy. This excites me because I'm like, just announced like Cassper and Nasty on the tour. Now we got a banger like this.
Yes.
And now KO just followed up after Sete with this. And Toss, my word, I'm just sounding like I'm a mess, but that's the song. That's a banger.
That's it.
Certified banger as well, man.
Certified
Like
banger.
Ms. Cosmo was saying, nothing could have prepared us when he told us. Oh, at least he tried. Shame, he tried to prepare us, right?
He tried.
He was like, you guys are in for a treat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something delicious is on the way. And he spoke very proudly about his verse and how KO made sure that he wrote something, impactful. Toss is so dope there. You almost forget for a second that KO is being exceptional himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so used to KO just being dope that when he starts rapping, you're almost like, let me just get to this Toss part. Meanwhile, this KO is like on it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying? KO is on it on this track. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's so good that we're like, yeah, sharp.
Yeah. We know you. Don't worry.
Don't worry, KO. Daps, no doubt about it. 10 out of 10, as per usual. And then you have Toss, who comes in to like really surprises with the flow and the energy, and it's really, really dope. And I love that he told us, KO was saying, no, you're going to rap today. I didn't call you to. I don't want you to young stand at this situation like we did.
I don't want you to dance.
No. And that shows you an artist who not only is, KO could have done whatever you wanted on that song. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And he could have made Toss maybe bring in something a little bit more that we're used to, the piano vibes that he brings. But he's like, no, we're here to rap today. Don't worry about it.
You're bringing your bars today, my brother.
I also like the fact that KO is also taking an OG. Thing going forward. Like, we need that now.
Yeah.
We need that now.
Yeah.
We're not going to go deep and who we've lost and how much we've lost. But KO is good on him. Shout out to him, actually, for taking that OG part and making the guys rap, because I know the Amapiano guys is scared.
Yeah. No, the thing is, they all grew up on hip hop,
Yes.
and then they were like, you know what, hip hop, maybe I'm not making my way. Let me get into this Amapiano thing, and that's how they
But
kind of
sometimes
running
hip hop
it.
can be too bougie. You know,
Yeah.
the piano guys are chilled.
They're having fun.
They're having fun. Now the hip hop guys, hey, you know, we hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. That's it. I'm just happy.
Do you know-
Everything is working out in terms of hip hop now.
This song reminds me of Run Josie. Remember how we all were just like, yo, 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 yo. Because we all expected AKA to give us AKA with the first verse. Then KO said, okay, let me show you. And then blew us all away with his verse on Run Josie. So much so that AKA was like, I need to come back. Because actually, Yanga was supposed to have a verse on Run Josie.
Yeah.
But then I think KO's verse was so hot. Keenan's was just like, I need to give a second verse just to level up and make sure that you heard me on this track. And I kind of got the same energy with Rockabye, you know? Because KO, yes, as brilliant as the first verse is, I do think the second verse was also just a comeback to say,
Closing
okay,
it off.
yeah, just closing off what Dos gave us. Just say, I'm gonna remind you
On that note.
whose song this is. This is me. Don't forget about it. You know what I mean?
It was the same with AKA. You're right. With AKA, KO had one of those memorable moments on Run
Yes.
Josie. But for a second, you'll forget and think AKA was just being like regular.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he was also giving you heat on that track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I like it when it happens like that, because it's just one of those like cultural moments you get from a singer. You know, you had the little ad libs, and
They
has the
shut down Mandela
quotables.
Bridge.
Dude.
Yo.
And I feel like this is that sort of song they can do something crazy and wild. Like, I mean, with hip hop and the way it's going now.
Yeah.
So shout out to KO and
man.
Tusk, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
man, I
you
think she should send a shout out to the guys and let them know what you were behind them in terms of like hip hop. You
guys.
know what I'm saying? The fans as well, because the fans are hard sometimes. The fans, the hip hop fans are hard. This shit is whack. This shit is that. This shit is that. Nah, these niggas ain't rapping. These niggas ain't where the bars at. The stars, Mars. They just, goddamn it.
Yo.
Like, why do you have a dancer rapping on your song?
Yeah.
No.
Ask yourself. You know,
Hip-hop
you
Yours
been,
came with fire. The flow, I don't understand everything he's saying, but you can feel it.
Hip hop
You don't-
fans
you know what I
are the
mean?
worst.
you ever been at a party and you have a friend who's whining the entire time about something, and you're like, hey, man,
Just have fun.
hey, just shut it up. Shut it up.
Get
We're here
out
to,
of
we're
here,
to
man.
drink and dance. This problem, let's just leave it at the door and let's have a good time.
Talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
It's
Hip hop, when you're having fun, just say these guys are doing something dope there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because the fans themselves have become judge and jury, and everybody is
Does have to be some of the
not about wearing office suits going, nah, not approved.
It's like, okay, go back to your 9 to 5, my brother, please.
Hey, it's like, relax, nigga, and just have fun.
The beat is dope. All of it is dope. Shout out to them.
Shout outs to KO for the vision, man. We see you. All right, we still have more. We got two also really dope tracks as well. Aries dropped the Bad Guy visuals. So that's also doing some numbers as well on social media as well as on YouTube. Stilo Makolite is one of those artists who I love his versatility, but I also love his creativity, because who are you to put Big Zulu on a Gqom song? We know Big Zulu for the Afro pop vibes. We know him, for the Imaliningi vibes. But he's like, no, I know what I'm going to do with this big guy. I'm going to bring it back to Durban and say, we're going to give you a Durban sound. We're going to give you a tune. So Ikupa is the track that is out right now by Stilo Makolite. I love how he can sit in different pockets and do different versatile type of songs, because he can give you like a love song. He can give you an Afro pop song. He can give you a Gqom song. He can give you an Amapiano song. He can literally sit in every pocket, and a trap song. So big ups. I'm digging the tune.
Yeah, man, that's exactly what I'm just saying right now. What is Stilo doing? He's having fun.
Yeah.
He's literally having fun with his music, with his creative process. That song that he has, they shot in Cape Town with Youngster. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, sunny vibes. It's summertime. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah.
They're just having fun. What they're saying on there is like fun shit.
Yeah.
About
And
having
that's
a
what
good
we
time
want.
in the side. Now, where is he say? He says, let me take it to Durban. Let me handle this side. And then he's having fun. He's dancing. Stilo's free. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't let anything like stifle him, or there's
Yeah.
nothing. When it comes to creativity, he's just the guy who's like, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to catch a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't box himself in, doesn't leave things out. You already know how creative he can be himself. So it's good to see. That thing could have prepared me. I pressed play on that song, and as soon as I heard the beat, I said, oh, okay, let's go. I said, let's go.
Yeah.
It
So
was
it's a
cool
fun
to hear
jam.
them. Yeah, it is a fun jam. It's cool to hear them on something different. I love Gqom.
You're from Durban, my brother.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have a choice.
You know what I mean? Especially the taxi. But personally, I don't think Big Zulu should have been on that, man.
Really?
Big Zulu has a Durban sound already. Like you said, I'm like, the song is amazing.
Yeah.
The song's amazing. It's more Stilo. That's why
Yeah.
shout out to Stilo. Shout out to what he did there. But like, personally, Alright, Big Zulu is Big Zulu. Big Zulu on that hip hop,
Yeah.
the Afro pop.
Yeah.
I love him singing. I love him, the chilled rap vibes. Yes, something different here, but yeah, maybe for the street. But Big Zulu's got that, he's there.
Oh, so you worried about the performance vibes and art
because I don't
Okay.
see Big Zulu going out. You know what I mean? There, what he's sliding an Omega sandal. You got your top pocket. You got your, he's got that swag. Pulling up on the old school Cressida.
Yeah.
And now with Pom there with we know Stilo. You know what I mean? Going there. I don't see that in performance vibe. The music sounds good, but
Okay,
You know what
I
I
hear
mean?
you. It's about
You
the full
know.
package. It's about
yeah,
everything.
but shout out.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's Stilo's vibe. Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
Stilo can do, like you said, he's versatile. He can do all of that. I'm just a huge Big Zulu fan. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I have to get used to it.
Yeah, I think maybe you
Type
just need
of
to hear.
vibe.
Maybe when the video drops, you might change your mind.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
no,
see.
I like the song.
I'm
but
trying to envision it, and so far it's funny in
do
my
you know
head.
what I
but
mean?
yeah, it's hilarious.
I
but
hear you.
but maybe I guess that'll be part of that's where the fun can come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It'll
fun.
It'll be
It's
interesting
fun.
to see if they actually make a video, and if the video is like actually playing on that a little bit. Oh, this is Big Zulu
And
trying
I-
to keep up with this beat.
And I see Stilo often. He's not okay. There's no hate here, brother. But you know what I mean. I'm just saying that song is amazing. The
Yeah.
beat's amazing. It's gonna be a vibe. It's a banger because of the beat and what they did with it. But personally, as a big Zulu fan,
Yeah.
it was just a bit like, oh, whoa, okay.
I think it's just unexpected for you, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think the
it just
video
took
might
me-
change your mind.
And I think because I just caught onto it like now,
Yeah.
so I was like, yo, okay. Like
It's
I
still
didn't
processing.
expect it. Yeah, because when I saw Stilo and Big Zulu, I got excited. I was like, cool, what is this? Maybe another, and then I was like, I was like, away, okay, it's good. And then I'm like, okay, is it the wrong song?
No, I think it's dope. I like unexpected collaborations.
Yes, yeah.
Similar to KO and Toss, I love the unexpected collaborations. That's what we want to see. We want to be excited. We don't want to hear the same old thing. And I think that's what the guys are trying to do. They're trying to think outside the box.
Yeah, and
they're
that
trying
works.
To, yeah.
They nailed that.
Yeah.
From that point, I'm just like a heartbroken, not heartbroken, but like a deep Big Zulu
Zulu
fan. That's I'm talking from that. I'm also a Stilo fan.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to both the guys.
Shout out. All right, so Ntukza daughter also dropped a tune. It's coming off of her album, which is up for pre-order. But the song that she dropped is called Amaputa. And she's got a very distinct voice. And I love how she kind of comes across. She reminds me so much of Zahara.
Right.
I don't know why, but there's something about her. Whenever I listen to her, or when I see her, or when I listen to her voice, something just says Zahara to me. But on Amapiano, like she's just got this distinct, thing that comes through. But I think that is what her secret sauce is as well, and that's why she's doing so well right now. But I'm digging the tune. Obviously, I'm a piano vocalist. She's doing the things. So shout out. I'm keen to hear the rest of the album.
I'm keen to hear the rest of the album. I've only bumped the song a couple of times, so I'm still catching the vibes as well. But I enjoy her voice. I'm trying to describe it with Zahara. It's somewhere in that sort of ballpark, and how she sits on these on these dance beats and whatnot. But yeah, I enjoy her as an artist, and she's got some jams that I do love. But with this one, I think maybe, like I said, I've only listened to it a couple of times. I don't know if I've caught the vibe yet of the jam, but it sounds all right.
I love this song. And she featured, is it remember picture on this?
Yes, let me just.
You know the guy that made the cheating song?
Two guys.
My forever year now.
We learned Marumba pitch is actually two guys.
Oh, it's two guys.
Yes.
I just knew it was a guy that made the cheating song. You know the one on TikTok. But I think I love it. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
There's nothing like for me to say about
Yeah.
it. I absolutely love it. I think that's like how piano started off.
Yeah.
With the it's a very melodic and the vocals
Yes.
before it got to the harder stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love it.
Wha-
I think
wha-
she nailed it.
Also just wanna even shout outs to there was a video that was circulating about how Mpura actually first put her on to Pori,
Yeah.
where when they used to do these lives where they would go on Instagram live
Yeah.
and just connect to somebody. Pori for some reason is always driving when he's on those Instagram lives. I don't know why. But he was driving somewhere and then Pura put him on. He's like, yo, there's this girl that I need you to listen to. Her name is Ntukza daughter. She's going to be the next one. Puri was like, okay, bring her through to the studio. And she's got like her little thing there in the back. She's like, hi, okay, I'm keen to meet you, whatever. Got into studio. and taken it to the top right now. She posted it actually in remembrance of Mpura, just to say, yo, Mpura, if you could see me right now, you know, you're the guy who got me into this game. So shout outs to you. And also shout outs to Pori, because he's also got an ear for artists and what they and their capabilities. Somehow he knows how to unearth it and give the right beat. And he always puts them on. There's also this video circulating of him kind of playing. I think it was at Gonga or whatever. And he's just featured on the song. But people always just, you know, he's got this thing where he can feature the right artist and bring on artists who just do the right thing on his music. So I think that's an incredible talent to have, an incredible ear to kind of have in this music industry. But Nkosazana, I'm excited, man. I just want to hear more from her.
I love it, man. The creativity is always dope. Like, one thing piano artists are doing is having fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'll never go wrong. Yes, there can be a lot of throwaway stuff. Like I say with hip hop, there's gonna be when there's a lot happening. Some of the stuff will come and go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But from the fact that people are having fun and like obsessed with collaboration and, you know what I'm saying, always creating something new, that don't want to sleep and everything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in everybody's business and tracks and albums and all that. That's where now you start to filter things, and then you get a lot of, like I said, maybe some things that were here today, gone tomorrow, but that's where a lot of dope shit comes from the fact that people are constantly trying to perfect something.
And those lives, bro, those lives help.
Yeah.
Like the one day Mpori made a kota. Now I knew how to make a kota.
But it's a bunny chow.
I know, but the way he did it, there were some other things. He jiggered some other gunpowder. And I was like, I know how those taste. Like, you know where I'm from, but I mean, this is a different one. Maybe it's a Pitori one or
Oh,
something.
Spacho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chips and everything.
Yes. I was like, okay, keep doing the live. Give us some music and give us that thing. I tried to make it. It was an epic fail, so I'd rather make an Amapiano song.
Remember Ricky did one for us and he gave us Oxtail.
Oh, no.
There was a time where Ricky during Rockdown, he was like, let me get on this cooking
let me
vibe.
show you. You'll cook that thing for 12 hours, okay?
It's very interesting, man.
Oh, man. But it's good to kind of see people kind of expressing themselves and doing different things, especially on social media. So
Speaking of Ricky, and this is not part of the story, but anyway, I actually went to his mom's book launch.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? His mom wrote a book. It's called Dearest Mariki.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if you remember, after Ricky's passing, she went on this expedition up the mountain, Kilimanjaro. And so it starts there, but the story is about her entire life, touching on, of course, and how her son's passing has affected her, and just and everything else she'd had to go through, and like, you know what I'm saying, and unearth through not just Ricky's passing, but throughout her entire life as well. So it's very emotional. It's very touching. I got the book. I'm still reading it now, but yeah, it is very dope. So if you do have time, do go support Oma Louise's book called Dearest Mariki. It is out at all your bookstores. So go support, man. You might learn a few things, not just about her. It's about healing and grief and all that. But yeah, you'll get glimpses of Ricky's life, but also just how she's had to deal with her own stuff through her son's passing.
Hip hop.
It's a hip hop. Slicker also just dropped a book as well.
Yes.
Slicker also had a book launch just about entertainment and the journey that he's gone in through and learning different things within the entertainment industry as well. So I think for artists as well as people who are just trying to get into entertainment as general, not necessarily just artists, but even if you're in behind the scenes, whether you're in PR, marketing, digital, because he's been in all of those facets, you learn a lot from that perspective as well, because he can kind of share his stories and how he got through all of the struggles within entertainment. So I'm appreciating that as well. Artists who are getting into different spaces and sharing the knowledge as well. So go and check it out. Slicker's book is also out. I think exclusive books or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that is a wrap for us today here on POPcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our guest, Chris Beats. Where do we catch you? The block party?
Yo, you guys have so much fun on a what is it? A Monday. Yes, it's going down. Yeah, man, I'm on the airwaves, but also shout out to you guys doing amazing things.
Thank you.
Keeping us informed. SA hip hop.
Yeah.
SA hip hop. SA music. We've lost so much, but like I said, no one gives you guys flowers. So shout out to you guys.
You.
Shout out, man. I appreciate it.
Shout out.
You can find me on the streets. I'm on the radio.
Yes.
947 Block Party. That's where I'm at.
Yes.
And you'll find me maybe at Kofi, man.
Yes. And hopefully, we can get him out here. A big ups to our venue again, Kofi Midrand. Come through, check it out. The decor is just amazing, and obviously you'll see it as well in the cutaways that we've shown you as well throughout the show. But yeah, man, come through, have a beer, have a drink. drink.
You can have wine for breakfast.
Have wine for breakfast
there's a guy
because that happens.
There's a guy halfway through a red bottle. Yo, think it's going to some.
That happens definitely. But yeah, man, we'll catch you again next week, same time, same place. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you want to see, who you like, and of course, we will bring you more Pop Radio episodes as well. Shout outs.